You are Locked On Ole Miss, your daily podcast on the Ole Miss Rebels. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Also, do us a favor and like, subscribe, and comment on the video. Subscribe to the podcast on whatever audio podcatcher you are on and give it a 5-star review. It costs absolutely nothing, but keeps all of this free. And if you want more, join the Insiders program in the subtext link down below. No trolls, 14-day free trial, and the easiest way ever to cancel. So give it a try. And don't forget to check out a second listen on the network. Nearly every team, college or pro, is at your fingertips. Now, this is really interesting because I wanted to kind of talk about last year's Kentucky game a little bit and mention the differences that Austin Simmons and Jackson Dart and all of that. And in the middle of that, I discovered a little bit something different. So if you look at Austin Simmons, and this is his zones that he had against Georgia State. I mean, a perfectly fine zone, but you can see there was not many passes more than 20 yards downfield. He did have the 47-yarder to Harrison Wallace. Not as a lot of passes from 10 to 20 yards downfield, but a ton of passes between 0 and 10 yards. He was 1 or 2 out to the left. There was a drop pass on that one. He was a near 12 of 13 for 146 yards and a touchdown in the middle, and he was 1 for 1 out to the right as well. All stuff that you would expect of a young quarterback, but I think it is more than that. I think Austin Simmons, his processing ability that he has is going to cause him to get the ball out a little bit quicker. So routes that are normally 10 to 15 yards routes, you're getting the ball at 7 yards. So inside the numbers, 12 of 13, 146 yards and a touchdown, I think he's going to be doing some work in that part of the field, especially if you sink back deep. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Now, just to look at what's going on, Jackson Dart's zone from the same time frame, just to give you the look of the differences of it, much more deep passes percentage-wise. Now, this is his senior year, I guess you can say, in 2024, so it's going to look a little bit different than Austin Simmons. It is. But I just wanted you to see what the offense running at the highest level looks like with Jackson Dart and what we've seen so far from Austin Simmons. You can see 10 to 20 yards downfield, there's a lot of action in that area. And then Austin Simmons, more of the action is between 0 and 10 yards. Now, my theory is Kentucky was able to control Jackson Dart in both games against Ole Miss in 2022 and 2024 by sinking a little bit, keeping everything in front. Don't get beaten by explosive plays. And Mark Stoops does a fantastic job of making the team drive the ball down the field. No explosives. All of the stuff is what you would hope it to happen. And because of that, you end up forcing the ball downfield to Trey Harris. Trey Harris ended up with 174 yards. I do not think, and we did not see a Trey Harris-like thing in this Georgia State game. Austin Simmons did a really good job of spreading the ball around the field between Harris and Wallace. Deshaun Stribling had 3 catches as well. Then you look at the tight ends, Daquan Wright and Caleb Odom. They were big participants as well. The running backs didn't catch any balls either, so we'll see exactly what that looks like. But you can see the sink that Mark Stoops plays, why that wasn't the best matchup for a Jackson Dart. Now, the ball getting out a little bit quicker before you can sink, I think the quarterback in Austin Simmons has a chance to be really effective. And one thing that I saw when we were looking at this is the Matt Corral numbers from 2021. When he was a senior, this is after he had Elijah Moore. North of 20 yards downfield, didn't throw very often. Jackson threw a ton down the field, but Matt Corral was a little bit more judicious. He was more judicious from 10 to 20 yards as well. And then you look at those 0 to 10 yards, the quick decisions that Matt Corral made, that is the reason they were so effective offensively. And if you look at it, we're going to bring up some box scores in segment 3 that might have played a big role in being successful against the Mark Stoops defense. It's something we should keep an eye on absolutely to see exactly how that goes. Listen, you want a rock fight. He wants a rock fight. The whole thing wants a rock fight. The way you get out of rock fights is by moving the football, keeping their offense off the field to where they can't drain clock, wear out the defense a little bit, do some stuff that they weren't expecting, and get a lead. If you can get up by 2 scores, if you're leaving at that point. 2 scores can turn into 4 scores really quick when you're playing against a team like this. But if it is an absolute rock fight, which Mark Stoops is known for trying to create, you have to be a little bit careful of what can go on because, I mean, they do some pretty cool stuff, but they do not have the best players in the world. So in our final segment, Mark Stoops is desperate to drag this matchup into a rock fight. It's the only way Kentucky can get what they want. That's the way they got it a year ago. But how exactly do they try to do that? More importantly, how can Austin Simmons and the Ole Miss offense keep from getting dragged down into that style of a game? We'll break that all down next. We have an important request. Locked On wants to hear from you. We put together a survey to learn more about our listeners and make your favorite podcast even better. This is your chance to tell us what you like, what you don't, and answer questions about our advertising. Go to the lockedonpodcast.com/survey to get started. Everyone who completes the survey will be entered to win one of 10 $100 Amazon gift cards. Again, that is lockedonpodcast.com/survey. You can also find the link below in the show notes. Thank you so much for helping us out. Thank you for making the Locked On Ole Miss podcast your go-to source for Ole Miss sports. We pride ourselves on offering the most comprehensive perspectives, which is why we are the front door of Ole Miss. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. It helps the show, and it is totally free. Your support means the world to us. And in another big moment for Locked On college football fans, Locked On and Fire TV are presenting College Football Kickoff, your ultimate college football weekly preview. Drake Toll of Locked On Big 12 leads the conversation alongside 2-time AP Coach of the Year Gary Patterson and former college star Jesse Holley and Locked On's local experts, right? A local college football preview that only Locked On can do. Catch College Football Kickoff every Thursday throughout the season, only on Fire TV. Hotty toddy, everybody. Remember, analytics is just the old English word that means bad football. We'll see you tomorrow.